He wants a woman who inspires him, and he's inspired through her beingness, and that is something that is a disposition that she carries within her character, a disposition of kindness, a disposition of patience and understanding. A man wants a woman who comes with wise counsel, not telling him what to do, not demanding or anything as such, but just to speak from her heart to the point where, he sees what she says makes sense. For me to answer a question regarding gender roles, I believe is a waste of time. It's a waste of time because today's society, the way that it's constructed and the way that we operate, there are no needs for roles by gender per se. But what I will say is this: I'll answer the question in this form, in the form of energy, right? Masculine energy and feminine energy. Now, these two energy fields are in one person. So each individual themselves have both masculine energy, right? And we also have feminine energy. And depending on which force we are led by dominantly will determine what we desire, our preferences. It will shape our outlook on life. It will um, pretty much direct how we move and how we decide to continue to grow. The masculine energy, you can look at the masculine energy. Think of the masculine energy as the energy that is doing, right? It's always performing action. You have that independent woman, right? That professional career woman who is said to have masculine energy. She's said to have masculine energy because she is busy doing. Whereas the traditional wife, right? The stay-at-home wife, that homemaker, she is dominantly led by the feminine energy. And the feminine energy, you can think of the energy as being. So the masculine energy is the energy of action, and the feminine energy is the energy of quality of a nature. Okay, it's being, it's in the beingness. That's why men say that when they're looking for a wife, they're not concerned about how much money you can bring in. And that's because they are led by the masculine energy. They're doing it anyway. They don't need another individual to be a masculine contributor. What they want is someone to complement their already made lifestyle. So that individual will have to be an individual who is led by the feminine energy of being kind, being nurturing, being expressive, being submissive in the sense of being cooperative to the goal of the success to the relationship. When I'm saying submissive, I'm not talking about anything outside of cooperation towards the success of the whole entire unit. That's what I mean by submissiveness. And that's what submissiveness means. It means cooperation. Everything else is just added on and other people's opinions, all right? I like to use words as they're defined. So the masculine energy, right? It transmits because it's doing, so it's always moving, and as it's moving it's transmitting itself throughout the universe. Whereas the feminine energy, she exhibits strength, and her strength comes from the stillness. And in her stillness is she the receiver. She's able to receive. She's able to receive direction. She's able to receive guidance. She's able to receive love. She's able to receive. You understand? So this is why it's said that for the female gender, right, they're looking for men to protect and to provide, because the female gender, which makes sense, is usually associated with the feminine energy, right? And vice versa. And when you look at it like that, that's how these roles, the idea of roles came to play, because it was believed that every woman wanted the same thing and every man wanted the same thing, until this freaking feminist movement when it was said,
No, no, we don't want what you are giving us.
we don't want the only things that you are telling us that we should have. I have other desires, I have aspirations of my own, and I want to be able to fulfill them. And you know what? Rightfully so. Okay, I think that was a great time in life, contrary to what many people may believe, depending on who you're asking. For me, you ask me, I think it's a great time because, well, had it not happened, then how would I be able to do this right here? How would I be able to, feel free to prosper in my spirit, not even financially, but just even in my spirit? I would need a sense of freedom, and that would include financial freedom. So, the feminist movement is not a bad thing. What may make it appear bad is how people are viewing it, what people are doing with their freedoms, and so forth. Again, that's extra fluff. I don't care. At the end of the day, it was a good thing. Women are able to be, so spiritual souls, okay, soul beings, the soul you, the you without the name, the you that is aware that you are even looking at me through a telephone, listening to me through your ear canal and all this stuff. I'm talking about that you. That you would not be able to truly flourish and truly express. The feminine energy is the energy that is expressive. So if we can, even if that means an employment, we need to express ourselves, right? So that liberated that soul body that has no gender, has no shape, no form, that has no name, but only presence, right? Which is enlivened through the body, okay? That soul spirit has every right to be just as free as the other soul spirit in the same condition that is fused with the male body has. So all of this, subjective uh, arguments, it's ridiculous. Subjectivity meaning that, you know, a real man this or a real woman that. Listen, if you were born with a vagina, then, well, guess what? You are a real woman. If you were born with a penis, guess what? Then you are a real man. What you identify as is a totally different topic, and I don't care to speak about that. All right, that's out of my lane. I like to stay in my lane. All right, so I will never venture off my lane unless it's something that interests me, and this doesn't interest me. All right, so you are already a real man, and you are already a real woman. All right, I think the correct term would be someone who is compatible. All right, this idea of a real man and a real woman is just another way of saying someone who is compatible with me would do this. Someone who is compatible with me will look like that. Someone who is compatible with me will be like the other. You understand? It has nothing to do with real this or real that. To me, I find it insulting. Okay, I find it dehumanizing, and I find it a bit condescending for anyone to think that someone is lesser of a gender just because that they don't live up to their standards or their qualifications of being the right one. I think it's ridiculous, especially as grown folks. We should really know better. I mean, here we are in our 30s, in our 40s, and some of us in our 50s, arguing about preferences while defending your own. Are you kidding me? How are you going to criticize someone for what they say that they prefer while arguing the case to continue to hold on to yours? I think that seems a bit hypocritical. And if this is something that you're doing, I think you should look into the mirror and really do some introspect, because you're going to continue getting what you're getting as long as you continue to do what you're doing. All right, you're going to continue to attract the same type of individuals into your life as you've been attracting. You want to attract different individuals, then you must become someone different. Which brings me to today's video, being that suitable mate. Compatibility. When I speak of compatibility, I'm talking about compatible in the sense of you guys have the same desires for the end result, which is the success of the union throughout. That should be where your compatibility starts. Okay? And then you move on to seeing if you guys can mesh well together. Meaning that, can you accept them as is without requiring them to change a damn thing about them? All right? You are embracing the good, and you are appreciating them at their worst, because you've seen them at their worst, and even through their worst they still exhibit a great deal of good. So that should be something that should be acknowledged, and I believe that that should be something that should be commended for. Also, when it comes to compatibility, is, does the person respond in a way to your being who you are that allows you the comfort of being who you are freely without you having to change a damn thing about yourself? This is how the relationship with me and my man is. Okay, I get upset about a situation. Guess what? I don't tell him he should have said anything. I don't tell him to say anything different for the next time. I tell him it has not, what I'm going through right now has nothing to do with you, and everything to do with how I think about what happened, that, conjured up the appropriate triggered emotions, right? That had initiating the action, and in this case, the flow of the feelings that are flowing through me. Because I will never, ever, 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 ever in my entire, for the rest of my life, will I ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, I will never, ever give anyone the power of charge to control my feelings, my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. Those are mine. I own them. No one can tell me how to think. No one can tell me when to think. No one can tell me what to think. Okay? And no one can tell me how I should think. Just like no one should tell me what to feel, how to feel, when I should feel the feelings that I'm feeling. None of that crap. And no one can tell me when to move and when to be still. And this is because I give the same exact respect towards every other being on this planet. This way they can never say, oh, well, I did this for you. No, you didn't. You did it for yourself. You did it straight for yourself. I had nothing to do with it. You did it because of what you thought you can get out of it by doing it. And that's a smart thing to do. Okay, but don't make it seem like it's me. Don't make it a my thing. No, not at all. So, I mean, I would like to think I inspire action, right? As opposed to someone who motivates someone to do something, or manipulates someone to do something, or guilt an individual to do something. Those are the reasons I will never ever tell anyone what I want, because it has to always be their idea. And what I love most about my relationship with my man today is that I think it and he does it. Like last night, we were in the living room watching television, and I had my feet on the ottoman, and I thought to ask him for a foot massage, but I was like, no, because he just asked me for a foot massage, and I kind of shot him down because I didn't feel like it, right? And so for me to turn around and ask him for a foot massage, I think would just be just nervy on my part, unless I'm in a joking mood, but I wasn't. I seriously wanted my foot massaged. So I thought about it, and he's talking, and we got into a discussion about something, and he just started, grabbed my foot, and he just started rubbing it, and I was like, oh, I love when this happens. I think it and he does it. I think it and it comes. Thoughts become things. Thoughts turns into things. I love it because it's consistent, it's reliant, it's steady, and it's reliable. So, yeah, I love the thoughts that become things. But like I said, it always has to be his idea. And I think because I am the way that I am, he appreciates that in me, because there's no pressure. He doesn't feel pressure to have to please me. All he knows is that the things that he does pleases me. You see what I'm saying? And it's because we're suitable. I'm emotionally healthy. He's for the most part emotionally healthy. We're both mentally okay. We're both for the most part mentally healthy. We are each in a good space, and we were each in a good space while we were single before we came together as a couple. That had a lot to do with it because he didn't need me to fulfill any needs of his own, nor did I him. I know that all my needs are met. God is my provider. Put it like this: the way that the dynamics of the relationship in a marriage unit falls like this. God provides, right? God is the provider. God provides all things. God is the provision, right? God is the provision, so God provides all things. Then there's the husband who maintains that which God provides. All right? So if God provided the man the job, if God provided the husband the job, then the husband must maintain the job. And the woman, she is the supplement. All right? She sustains. Meaning that, okay, if what he is doing doesn't bring in enough, well, then she picks up she picks up the rest. It's not even slack. It just wasn't enough for whatever reasons, because things happen. Okay, people get sick, whatever. Things happen. So she comes in as the supplemental help meet. She helps where it's needed in order for the man to be able to perform at his optimum peak level, so that the gains that comes in can be brought into the household, can be contributed to the household. So it's God that's the provider, man is the maintainer, and the woman is the sustainer. That's the dynamic of the relationship as I know it. And with that being the case, with that being said, it doesn't matter how much money I bring in. I mean, he could be the maintainer, right? He could be the maintainer, meaning that he holds down everything in the bills. Okay? But what if, what I do brings in more money? Well, guess what? It's not that I brought in more money. The way I look at it is that our pot got bigger. And our pot got bigger because our kitchen is blessed. Our kitchen is blessed with prosperity and abundance promised by God, that if his child follows as instructed, these must come onto him. It's not that I went out there and I brought in more money. No. No, I look at it as together we work so well that what we have was, like our hands together, working together, our hands. Anything we touch in mind is multiplied in hand. It's not a me or mine thing. And it's funny because he didn't come in to the relationship with that mindset. It's through my actions and the results that he has witnessed himself about my actions and his experiences, his personal experiences that he's had, because of my actions, had inspired him to shift his mindset to think a different way. And in thinking a different way, did he begin to feel a different way? And in feeling a different way, did his spirit flow a different way? And in his flowing a different way, did different things, better things, grander things, became attracted to him, such as a promotion and a raise, which I am so freaking proud of him about. He got a promotion, right? So I would like to think that I inspired action in that way. Oftentimes I hear women say that they want to be an inspiration to their man and they want to inspire their man. I don't think they really have a clue, truly an in-depth idea of what inspiration is. I think what they're thinking of as they're saying the word inspiration is motivating them. They want to be that motivator for that man. They want to be that one that said, baby, you can do it. They want to be the one that says, baby, you got this. They want to be the one that says, baby, yo, I believe in you. That's motivation. That's not inspiration. When a man thinks about inspiration, he's thinking about a woman who will elevate him spiritually just by her actions, just by her feminine energy of being. Okay, that motivator is masculine energy because it's doing, it's cheering, you're moving. All right, that motivation is masculine energy. That's what they do on the fields. Yo, you got it, baby. Yeah, you got this, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Men don't want that from their woman. What a man wants from his woman is that sense of is that being at the game means more to that man than a woman being on the field about, yeah, baby, you got this, yeah, snapping him on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So men don't want a woman who motivates him. He wants a woman who inspires him, and he's inspired through her beingness, and that is something that is a disposition that she carries within her character. A disposition of kindness, a disposition of patience and understanding. You know, a man wants a woman who comes with wise counsel, not telling him what to do, not demanding or anything as such, but just to speak from her heart to the point where, you know, he sees what she says makes sense. Wise counsel. He wants a woman that comes with good sense, a woman who is not easily swayed by material things like money and cars and status and all that crap. You know, the things that people seek high value men after. These women who are seeking high value men really don't want what comes with being with that man. They don't want to be suitable with that suitable for that man, meaning that they are going to have to accept whatever the man brings as an individual without desiring him to change. But yet they want everything that man's pockets, his caliber, his status, his financial means can provide for them. These are what you call gold diggers. Gold diggers, well, they bury themselves. They bury themselves in misery and unhappiness, because what they truly desire is not the luxurious things that high value man can provide for her. No, what she desires is security and fun, comfort. That's what she's attached those feelings to. She's attached the sense of security, right? With how much money he has. She's attached her sense of worth to his wealth. She's attached her sense of fun to all the things she can do with his money. And the people who are these women carrying these types of mindsets, right? They are not quite understanding what's wrong with their way of thinking. They don't realize that people understand who are not seeking that, who are on the outside looking in. We see that it's greed. It's greed. It's insecurity. And manipulative. People can see through that. For the most part, I'm noticing that the majority of the people are not stupid. It's just that the ignorant ones are the loudest, because the ignorant ones would complain about the ignorant ones. So it seems like it's doubled. You know, like it's separate. But no, only ignorant people will complain about ignorant people. A wise man will never ever complain about a fool's foolish way, because a wise man understands the nature of fool. The nature of a fool, the nature of the fool, the nature of fool. All right. So it seems like that it's more of them, But no, it's not more of them. They're just arguing against themselves. They look like the individuals who are trying to defend their reasonings for their preferences in a mate while condemning someone else's preferences for their mate, and they try to justify it by focusing on that person's behavior, not understanding that both of them are in the same damn boat. They're just on other sides with the paddle. It's kind of cringy and weird, sort of, but it's the nature of ignorance. So I don't care. It is what it is. I accept it. I respect it, and I move accordingly. I'm going to just wrap this up by saying that gender roles, I think, is just a waste of time to be arguing about, which is why I will never even really discuss it. I truly believe energy is the way to go because we all encompass both. In the Bible it says, God created, him, and God created she, and in them he created them. Something like that. I can't really think of it right now, but it's in there. It's in Genesis 1, I believe, 26, 27. 26 to 27. You read that. Genesis 1, 26 to 27. And so that's more something that I know can be measured. Roles cannot be measured. Gendered roles cannot be measured because you have too many factors in between, or should I say within them. Whereas masculine energy, it has a nature. Feminine energy, it has a nature. I like to rather deal with nature than deal with someone else's opinions and ideas of who should be doing what according to them. Okay, I find that knowing the nature of a thing can produce better making decisions for oneself that will lead to better results in the end. Don't pick by a person, because you need to realize you are never dating a person. You are never engaging with a person. What you are engaging with is a mindset. Okay? And you measure someone's suitability with you and your compatibility with you through their behavior. Don't look at the person, look at the behavior. Ask yourself, is this behavior okay? Who cares about the person? The person can be a great individual. They can be compatible with you, but they may not be suitable for you. And you can only tell if someone is suitable for you, not by what he has, not by how he looks, but by his behavior, because the will of the man is the true nature of the man. With that said, it's your girl Trinity. Thank you for tuning in. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Would you rather stick with the gender roles, or do you think speaking about the masculine energy field and the feminine energy field would be a better way to go, since today's times has presented us with such different experiences as opposed to our predecessors back in the day? Yikes. Our predecessors back in the days. Alright, like, comment, hell, share. Love you later. Bye. Mwah.